as I was saying, see, this lockdown really affected the fasting. I'm telling you, all our Muslim brothers and sisters, there's nobody that prepare properly the way they should be.
Okay.
I mean, the way it should be. They didn't prepare for it. There is no opportunity for them to go out, to go to their various businesses, to go to their offices and works. You see, it really affects many people. I'm
Okay.
telling you.
Okay. But being that it's a faith thing, people just have to do it because the reward will not come from the government.
Yeah, of
The
course.
reward will not come from any organization. It will be
Of
coming
course, from
from
God.
God.
You are right.
Yeah.
You see, it has been the culture of all Muslim brothers and sisters
Okay.
who have power to fast.
Okay.
You see, this fasting in question is not compulsory because there are some people that they have opportunity of not fasting.
Okay.
Yes.
What opportunities that is it the health issues?
The health issues.
Okay.
Then the woman that is nursing baby, or any pregnant woman.
Okay.
Then the old age,
Okay.
the aged parents. So they are
They're
given the
exempted.
opportunity. They are accepted from fasting.
Okay. All right.
But if you are able, there is nothing stop you not to fast.
From observing
Yeah, from observing
the
fasting.
fast. Quite a wonderful lesson at this point, that because Ramadan happened to be a thing that we pray and God is the one that will give you the answers to those prayers. Of course, the COVID-19 and the lockdown shouldn't be a factor that should stop the faithful from, fasting. Let's move away from this. Let's look at NASFAT, where you represent.
Okay.
How are they able to help, faithfuls to come to the mosque during this time? Many stay far away from the mosque.
Yeah.
How are they able to, NASFAT, the organizations, how are they able to help people cope with this lockdown order in this period of
That's a
Ramadan?
very interesting question. Even before we start Ramadan, during the lockdown, NASFAT, have been trying to give some of their members a palliative relief package. We did it in all our various branches of NASFAT. You understand? We make sure we instruct all our chairmen that they should make sure in their various branches there should be a package for our members as
Okay.
a sign of relief
All right.
during the lockdown. So now that the fasting have started, we will still call them to repeat the same thing, what they have done during the lockdown to our people. Even not only our people, all the needs that comes their way, they should give them a palliative package.
All right. Personally, I've been following the Ramadan fast section. I may not fast because of my faith, but it's a group I love following much. But most times on the first day of the Ramadan fast, you normally gather crowd.
Yeah.
They will come from far places.
Okay.
You gather crowd.
Yes.
Now, how are you able? What is that challenge this period in doing this?
Thank
Because
you.
this gathering of the crowd is what set the pace.
Yeah.
Announcing the fast itself.
Very good, very good. We call it Tarawih. That Tarawih is the first prayer that all the Muslim brothers and sisters used to gather to let the neighbors knows that the fasting of Ramadan
Has commenced.
have commenced.
Yeah.
So since the lockdown and the social distance have been in place, our leaders, the people that lead us in Islam in Nigeria, the body, the National Council, the National Council of Islamic Affairs, headed by the Sultan of Sokoto, have instructed there is no place, no any mosque in this country should gather themselves and say they want to observe any prayer. In fact, you can imagine that we stop Jumat prayers since this lockdown period. And that Jumat's prayer is very important in the Muslim organization. You understand? So if we could stop that, nothing stop us not to stop this one as well.
Okay.
Because it's just nafila.
Okay.
You understand? It's nafila. But that Jumat is very even important than this Tarawih we are talking about. So since we have been instructed, all what we need is to abide with the law of the nation. So our people, we've been instructed to pray in their various houses with our immediate family.
Okay.
Just immediate family, not that we gather yourselves and you are in the same compound, you are in the same community. Okay, we can use my sitting room to be a mosque. No, it's not allowed. Okay. It's only your immediate family, okay. You, your wife, and your children, period.
All right, sir. But many a times till this date, many leaders in these organizations do go to mosques to call for prayers, sometimes early in the morning. Will this time for calling for
No,
prayers
no,
be
that one has been
observed?
stopped. That one has been
Okay.
stopped. It has been stopped during the lockdown period.
Okay.
It has been stopped.
All right.
There is no more that can make a call to prayer again.
All right, sir. And now, away from this, the Ramadan has come to stay.
Okay.
On top of the lockdown that has been having so many issues on its own. But let me ask this: what palliative measures is NOSFAT, putting in place to cushion the effect of this lockdown on our members, and maybe by extensions, the non-members of that group?
Yeah, thank you. Like I said the other time, we have we have the executive in various branches, and there is one that really consigned to our member, which is the membership secretary. The chairman of the branch will instruct if there is any palliative that they want to distribute to the members. They will tell the membership secretary to inform all the people that need this thing, because we know ourselves. Though the finger are not equal, but we know the people that are really in need that we need to call. So by the time we are calling them, we instruct them to bring their neighbors whom they know that they are also in needs. You understand? So it's not peculiar on a NASFAT member only. Yes, non-member are also coming to receive all this palliative package.
Yes, thank you. But let our viewers get something clear here. You said emphatically that you know those that really needs care.
Yeah.
But don't you think a lot of times people who possibly may need this care may not be able to come up to announce to you that, look, they need care. Look, the rice in their house is no more there and something is wrong. But you don't assume that they still have and they may not be able to.
You see, we cannot satisfy everybody. Okay. The little we have at hand is what we distribute to them. And whoever we call, they are the one that will appear.
Okay.
You understand? We know the number of package we have at hand. So we call the number of people that those things will be satisfied. That's what we do. It's not that we will call all the members. No, we cannot satisfy everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Now, given that as it may, what major challenge are you foreseeing will happen during this 2020 Ramadan fast? Because certainly, if anybody don't have food to open his mouth in the morning and possibly what is going to use at night to break the fast, I don't think it would be ideal for the person to tell you, look, brother, I'm doing this whole thing with you.
You see,
that's not going to be a challenge?
Yes, I know there will be a challenge. But what I will tell the whole world is that the challenge, we need to bear it. You understand? It's just a matter of time. And that's the reason why we are praying morning and night to God that this thing should fade up. You understand? Yes, like according to your question, I know many people will have challenges. And I want to tell you, before the fasting came, people have even been fasting because there is no sufficient food for everybody.
But they were doing that on a freelance.
Yes.
They were not prompt to prayers.
To prayers. No, yes. they will prompt to prayers because we all know that prayer is the source of every every stress that comes to your way. So if you pray to God that this thing that comes, oh God Almighty, let it be fed up. And I believe God will answer our prayer. And during this Ramadan, I know all the Muslim clerics, they will not sleep. Okay. Yes, they will talk to God that this thing should be fed up in a very short time by the grace of God.
All right. Okay, let us move away from there to COVID-19 as it stands. Because we were told sometime in the month of February 27 precisely this year that coronavirus, as we were told, came into this country. Okay. And ever since that February 27, it has become a nightmare. Okay. It has become a serious subject of concern. Most headlines in papers, in prints, and of course electronic media will not be completed without the mention of COVID-19. Let me ask you, what are the economic or political gain of this pandemic, so to speak, into our country now or after?
Well, first and foremost, we've all seen it that it has affected every factors, both business, politics, what have you. What I would rather say is this COVID-19 of a thing is a thing that comes, and it will definitely go.
Okay.
You understand? We can see the effort of our government. They have been putting every means to make sure we fight this thing up, that we don't want it in our country. If you look at the world, like you said, all the press, radio station and television stations, there is no any news that they will make that COVID-19 will not come out, in their reports. But I want to tell you, the world, we are even lucky in Africa here. If you read your paper and you see what is going on around the world, you will see that we are lucky in Africa. At least we still have limited cases of this COVID-19. So by the grace of God, we are praying. Everybody, the both Christian and Muslim, are praying, and even the traditionals, they are praying as well in their own way to make sure this thing fade up in Nigeria, so that everybody can go back to their various businesses.
Okay. So, economic-wise?
Yeah, economics-wise, affected. It has been affected already.
Okay.
Yes. So there is nothing we can do.
So no gain.
Unless there's no gain.
In perspective.
Of course, there is no gain. We have seen it. It's affecting everybody, even the small-scale businesses. It really affected them. There is nobody in this country that, even those people that are government official, they are also complaining because people rush to them, and what they have at hand cannot satisfy everybody that comes their way. Okay. So it really affected everybody. What we can only do is to pray to God, okay, that this thing should fade off.
I think with that, let me take you into palliative measures, okay, of the federal, the state, the local government, and some NGOs. Okay. Of course, there is a common saying by people that whatever we're doing is worth doing well. We've heard on sundry times that they talked about making palliative assistance to many. What the Nigerians are actually asking, they're not asking for the budget of the nation.
Okay.
According to a report, somebody said on a report that Nigeria has been making use of the GRUD for about 53 years now. And we are having a challenge, that make people to go indoor for 1 month, that the authorities should come up to. That was just an assertion of an individual. How will you measure up the palliative assistance given by the government itself? Because people are still complaining as I speak that they've not gotten it.
Well, from my own point of view, we are only hearing it. I've never seen anyone.
Okay. We
heard that government are distributing money, and the Minister of Information came out and said that they give so amount of money
to XYZ persons. Okay.
Of which I, as a person, I'm a Nigerian too. Okay. I've not seen anything.
And you have BVN?
Yeah, I have BVN.
All right.
And we are advising, there are some people that are advising the federal government that if you want to do any offshores, you go to central bank. Ask the central bank to fix a social amount to people that have BVN.
Please
send it to their account. But the question of saying that if you have more than 5,000 in your account, it means you are okay, is uncalled for. We shouldn't use that language. It's very, very wrong. Okay. So, but in the state government, like Lagos State now, I'm in Lagos State, and we all see what our governor are doing. He gives palliative relief to some local government chairmen to give to the people. Fine. We know local government, they are the governments that are close to the people.
Yes. The grassroots government.
The grassroots government. So what they do in my own local government, the chairman calls the CD.
Precisely which of the local governments?
Ojokoro SCDA.
Okay.
So I'm from Ifako local government, other Ojokoro SCDA.
Okay.
Yeah. The honorable chairman of my local government, Honorable Ahmed Tijani. What he did was that he called the religious leaders and the CDAs, CDCs. He handed over all these palliative packages to them to give to the people because they are the ones that know each and individual in their various community. That's what he did.
But if you were to be given a platform to give counsel to the authorities on the handling of these palliative issues, what one counsel will you give them, given the instance of this lockdown?
Well, thank you very much. At least, if I was to give that opportunity, like you said, uh, from the little of what the local government have been doing, I can take out of it. I can take an idea from there as well, because the CDC, the CAN, the Christian, the religious leaders, the CAN and the Muslim imams, they know they know the people that needs. You understand? I will do that. I will call them. We have counselors in various wards as well. Yeah, we have counselors. We'll call the counselors. We give them their own. Give to your people. Give the Christian association. Give the Muslim association and the CDAs. So if you give it to those people, it will reach all the crane and corners.
Okay. But before we proceed on this break, let me ask you this question, because you've made mention of the Christian Council, you've made mention of the Islamic Council, and of course the councillors in their various wards. Are you not saying that there will be people that will be left over, because there are some people that do not belong to any of this group?
If they are not belong to either Christian or Muslim,
yes,
they will belong to CDA.
CDA, okay.
Yeah, CDA, okay. The Community Development Association.
Okay. So, of course, that means the heads of those CDAs, yes, must equally be involved,
yes,
in this exercise.
Oh, yes.
All right. That has been the summation of our Honorable Caller over the challenges of the Islamic faithfuls during the lockdown order by our state government. Of course, he's been giving us some insight on what to be done and not to be done, just to make sure that the fasting goes down well with virtually all the faithfuls in Islam. I will be proceeding on this short break. When I return, we'll be taking some keynote questions. Then we'll call it a day. Welcome back. Like I said before we proceed on the break, I do make mention that when we return, we'll be taking some keynote discussions that will lead us to the signing off on this program. Now, sir, I also observe, coming back to the faith now, the Islamic faith, that during this period, quite a number of persons do proceed to either Saudi Arabia or Mecca for their pilgrim's journey. Now, this year, as it stands now, what are the possibilities and what is your take on this, given the lockdown order everywhere?
Oh, that's a very good question, a fantastic question. During the fasting period, there are some of our Muslim brothers who do go to Umrah, that is less Hajj.
Okay.
They will go there to pray. But this lockdown, like I said the other time, it affected everybody in the world, not only Nigeria. Even before Nigeria come to conclusion of lockdown, Saudi Arabia, they have locked their country before Nigeria. So there is no way for any Muslim to go to Saudi this time around. You understand? But what my advice to those people that usually go to Saudi for prayer, that is for less Hajj, is to use their wealth, that God provided for them. They distribute it to all Muslim brothers and sisters around them.
Okay.
Instead of using that money or keep it to their house. The prayer they want to go and observe in Saudi will be answered if they do it that way.
All right. So there will be no need to say, okay, because many, for the fun of knowing Mecca for the first time or getting to Saudi Arabia for the first time, okay, will they be considered taking this journey, this pilgrim move next year?
Of course, there is nothing they can do this year. But let me tell you, This less Hajj, that is Umrah, is the only one that this thing is affecting right now.
Okay.
There is Hajj. That Hajj is the main one that we observe during the Ileya festival.
During the period of July, August?
Yes, during the period of July, August. And that one might not be affected. We are still looking at that one.
By His grace.
By His grace. That's what I'm saying. We are still looking at that one by His grace. So if that one does not affect, it means those people that wish to go to Hajj will surely go.
Okay.
But if this year is not possible, I mean, we will just pray to God to spare our life till next year. You understand? So if their life being spared, they can as well go by next year. That is if the COVID-19 is not extending to that time. Any longer. That's it.
All right. Let me ask you this, as a man that has seen some things in the political arena. Is it possible to combine politics and your relationship to your faith without lies? Because we are seeing men that has been able to juxtapose the two with some elements of things that is not really balancing what we are seeing or hearing in the society.
Thank you very much.
Can you be a political player
Yes,
fully and be a faith person clearly? Two combined without lies.
Yes, see, you can be. You can be. And the reason is this. Let me firstly bring this thing to your notice. You see, if you sell politics is a dirty game,
okay.
And you leave it to some elements, believe me,
they will play it in a dirty way.
The dirtiness will continue to be existing. Sure, you understand? So if you know you are a faithful man, try and join politics. All the dirty things that are there, try and clean it. You understand? You cannot clean it once, but at least you make it gradually. Maybe from seeing you in the front, there are some faithful people that also like to come on board. Okay. You understand? But by seeing you in the front, they may also come and join you. So from there, the group of faithful people that will clean the dirty in the politics will come up together, and gradually the dirty thing will fade off. Okay. So that is my own belief.
So there are possibilities of juxtaposing the two,
and
you still rail on the right side.
I'm telling you.
All right. Let me bring this before I will give you, because you're still going to do the Ramadan prayers to our viewers. Yeah, since we cannot meet in the mosque, they should be able to hear you pray. Then I will not talk. No problem. Because the prayer only belongs to you. You will know the prayers. All right. Many people opine that many clean and good Muslims don't spend enough time in social endeavors. They don't relate too much so that they will not dent their faith. Do you agree with this?
Oh, yes, I do agree. That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't know if I can mention name, because I would like to mention one of our elders and leaders, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. When the politics started in Nigeria, Awolowo called some elite people to come and join, but they are complaining that politics is a dirty game that they want to involve. So Chief Awolowo now told them, he said, yes, he agreed that the politics is a dirty game. But I want to tell you people that if you don't involve, then the dirty people will continue with their dirty mind to govern you people. And that is exactly what is, if you look at it very well, that is exactly what is happening in Nigeria. You understand? Until when the faithful people, you believe you are faithful and you can do things right, then why can't you join politics? Because democracy have come to stay in Nigeria. You understand? So there is no doubt about that. So now you still be at the back saying politics is a dirty game. Fine, dirty people will continue ruling you unless you involve. Okay. Yeah, if you involve, you make people understand some things. They might not get right immediately, but gradually. If you talk, let me tell you, if you talk in the public, there are some people that will say, what is he saying? But there are some that will just sit down, let's reason to what Mr. Prince will just said now. Okay. It's very, very sensible. You understand? That is how we can clean things. See, America, they didn't stand in a day before they became what they are today. So that's my own submission.
All right. So you are now saying that in politics there are rooms for you to be dirty today, with the hope of becoming clean tomorrow.
Of course, of course,
All right.
of course. You see, before, let me tell you, if you are a farmer, before you can get gain from your farmland, you have to
Okay.
sacrifice,
Cultivate, okay.
cultivate some things
All right.
before you come up to what you need.
You may not want to snap picture during the period of cultivation, but the period of harvest,
It's what the
you may
people will
want to take
see.
picture
So
with
that
it.
is it.
Okay.
That is it. That is the area I'm going.
All right, sir. It's been nice having you, but then
You're welcome.
I want to give Muslim brothers and sisters a kind of step-by-step counsel to a family of 2 or 3 that are not really having enough to part with this Ramadan. What should they do? Because it is a must. They must fast. They must fast. So what should an average family do?
Well, my brother and sister in Islam, I just want to advise everybody during this lockdown and the fasting period that whatever little thing you have in your disposal, just manage it. If you have a brother or a sister that you believe he have, you can as well go to them. Now everybody, they are doing zakat, they are doing sadaqah. You understand? So please don't hesitate to go to anybody that you know they have, children that they can give you and join it to the little you have. See, even before this Ramadan period, I want to tell you, I want to use myself as a study case. Case study. I told my family, I said we should embark on Formula 101.
Benny, and it's been working.
And it's been working.
Okay. Because you are still looking very, very fresh.
My brother.
You are not reflecting the lockdown.
My brother, I make myself happy.
Okay.
Because if I let the lockdown weigh me down, I might not